to this Japanese painting of the tsunami, you will notice 3 peace education programs. What on earth is the chance of these boats to survive the wave? The belligerent environment of media, adults, politicians, all of them have the atmosphere of a war, culture of war. Fight them, annihilate them. Teach them a lesson that goes on for years. This pedagogy of teach them a lesson. They don't learn the lesson, but never mind, you continue teaching them. Every teacher who would try that for God knows how many years will probably already be fired, but politically will continue with the same. This is the most difficult barrier to overcome. Those who participate in a peace education program go home from a wonderful program, glittering eyes, all of them greatly understanding the other side, only to hear from their peers in school or the neighborhood. What is it? You have become suddenly a lover of the Arabs or Jews? It's a major roadblock. Nevertheless, here is a prediction. If these are the roadblocks facing peace education, no program can succeed. And as a researcher, when we go into doing research, evaluation, etc., we really do not expect to find anything very dramatic. Given these roadblocks, what can you expect? However, findings are different. Something happens there which is pretty interesting. Just to give you, I'll give you 2 examples. Although we have studied endless ones, and if you go on our website, you can read all about them. But I'll mention 2. And back to the ICPRI program. The 2 sides did not fall in love with each other. They did not. But when hatred after the program was measured, both in the group of those who did participate in the program and those who did not, was called a control. Look what happened between October and May of 2003. There is amount of hatred between preachers and posters of the control group. And there's good reason to increase hatred. Bad things happen. The conflict flared up. It became very bloody. But look what happened to those who did participate in the program. No real change. The program served like a lid, which prevented further deterioration of hatred to the other side. How interesting. Our colleague from Northern Ireland, learning of this, said, we misinterpreted many of our findings as showing that peace education is ineffective. In fact, what you showed when you compared with those who did not participate in the program, that it is quite effective. At least it prevents further deterioration. Quite a finding. Wait, you don't steal a thunder. Here's another example, and I show only 2 because I want to reach the conclusion. Here we are in a program. They meet, they have a dialogue group, workshop. They discuss, they cry, they love, they hate, they love. Everything happens there. They meet. Interpersonal friendships develop between Muhammad and Yosef. Does it generalize? Does Yosef come to perceive the Palestinians any differently once he became a friend of Muhammad? Does Muhammad come to perceive and relate to the Jews, Israeli Jews, any differently as a consequence of the friendships that develop? Answer is yes. I'm sorry, that's another thing. Answer is yes. It does. Very impressive. Let me go back to that finding. Here again, program. I'm mentioning it because they are history, but I could mention so many others. Give me this figure. I could mention many other programs and many other studies, but I won't mention them now. That's beginning to be a little bit tiring. Here, perceiving, you saw before how the two groups come and perceive peace as non-violence on the one hand, independence on the other. Question is, to what extent does the program change the views of peace to be what's called positive peace? That's a term by John Galton, one of the founders of peace education. And positive peace means cooperation, tourism, joint projects, etc. And look what happens, very interesting. Among the non-participants, hardly anything happens between beginning and end of the program. It's so very less. But look what happens among the participants, the Israelis and the Palestinians. The percentage of students who become to see peace as a positive thing of cooperation. I'm sorry. I'm telling you right? Good. Okay. So here we have three findings, as I've said, there's so many more. Is there a contradiction here? I mentioned the barrier that predicted that peace education will not have much of any effect. And here I bring a sample of findings that show that it does have an effect, and a positive one. That peace education works, even under the conditions of intractable conflict. Do we have a contradiction? And we broke our skull. That's our job, to break our heads. The wall, special wall at the university against which you hit your head, to break it and see if you can come up with some idea. And yes, we came up with an idea, all right. There is a difference between attitude and conviction. And we found it in old literature. We suggest to all of those who write masterpiece dissertations. Some go on to only into the recent literature. Go back a little bit. Sometimes there's more wisdom there than recent ones. Convictions are the centerpiece of a belief system. If you are vegetarian, believing in eating only vegetables and fruit, that's a conviction. If you are a feminist, believing in the equality between the genders, it's a conviction. And it is not something that is going to change after a 3.5-day workshop. If you believe in the right of the Palestinian refugees to return to Palestine, that's a conviction. If you believe that the Jews have the right to establish their own state in their own ancestral homeland, that's a conviction. And then there are attitudes. Can the green people be trusted to believe in attitude? Would I want one of these purple people to live next door to me? Okay, I'm willing to change my mind about it. In other words, we have called centrally held beliefs, which we can call convictions, and we have attitudes, which are both peripheral. They are not peripheral, but relative to the core ones, they are on the periphery. I had a student who studied it. And look, and we already studied before what are, for both the Palestinians and the Jews, what are convictions and what are just beliefs. And what we found is very interesting. Here we have the beginning of the pretext before program begins. Here's the end of it. Convictions hardly change at all, as expected. Beliefs do change. So the competition. Let's not have too high expectations. We will not change convictions through peace education. We can change attitudes, beliefs, stereotypes, yes.